Okay, welcome to Rick's World, as I said, live number 9, even though there's been a few misses in between. Okay, welcome to Okay, so what's new with everybody? Am I the only one here at the moment? I mean, that sucks, but that's okay too. I can live with it. You know, I can live with it. I know when I'm not loved. I know when I'm not wanted. So, here I am. Come and talk to me. I have so much to talk about, it's unreal. And I'm trying to figure out how to get it going. Okay, that one goes there. That one, nope. We already got that one. Then that one. Then that screen. That gives me 3 screens on here at one time. Okay. And I'm assuming, hey, Jared, glad to see you. That somebody showed up. You know, I've been gone for a couple of weeks. And unfortunately, and I'll say it again if somebody else shows up, I might be gone for this time next Saturday. I'll be on my way to Indiana. So I don't think I'll be having a show next week. Unless I can figure out how to do one from my cell phone. Hell, I have enough trouble with this. Let alone that. And, you know, I'm going on vacation. And people say to me, well, hell, you don't work now. You know? Well, living at home is, to me, is not vacation, even though I don't work. Yes, I have a new computer. Yeah, it's a Dell. Hell. I haven't even got it all set up yet. The other one finally died on me. I tried to milk it to get it working. The sound card finally went. I had no sound. I gotta. Let's see if I can get it into front of the camera. It's an Xperia 7 or some shit. 17, 5000 series, 17-inch screen, lighted keyboard, touch screen. Oh man, I got USS Enterprise right in front of me here. You know, hell, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with it, but everything seems to be working. I don't know if this is too loud. I'm trying to figure out how to do the sound here with my old system. I plugged it in and everything was working, but so we're soon sound good. Sounds good though. Thanks, T-Webs. Appreciate it. So I got a whole list of stuff here. I also got a program where I gotta do everything. I'm gonna transfer everything from the old computer to the new computer. I'm gonna do that later on tonight when I'm not when I get back tonight when it's nice and quiet. See how it goes. Anyway, I'm gonna start my show here. And as I was saying, I couldn't do it last week, but when was it? The 15th, I think it was, of June. I got voted in for the Bradford Sportsman's Club down here, about 6 miles from my house. And how many days has that been? About 2 weeks? Just a little over? I've shot, let's see, first, it was a Thursday when I joined. I shot Friday and Saturday, a couple hours each day. And I went Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I went again the other day. And where I was saying, when I went to the indoor range, it was costing me $25 an hour. Here, it cost me $250 for the whole year. I can stay as long and as short as I like. Hey, I got my money back already. So, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It really is. It's kind of funny, though. But the more I'm shooting, the more I got to reload. And I'm using an old hand press. And, oh, man, I loaded up, I think it was about 250 rounds the other night sitting in front of the television. It was one night last week. And I tell you, The following day, I couldn't even use my left hand. It was so cramped and hurting every time I moved the fingers from doing that shit. And I noticed I enjoyed reloading, you know, doing a few every night. But now the damn thing's become the master. You know, and I don't like that. I'll become the servant to the damn thing. So I went and splurged. Oh, put it this way. Even though I've had bad computer problems, and the only reason I've been able to buy a good one, how this ever happened, I hit a button I was going through Amazon, and it got Amazon credit card, you know, Visa or MasterCard, whatever. I've applied for one of those before, and they turned me down. But this one said Amazon card, so I hit it, put my name in there, sent. Next thing I know, I get an email saying, you got $1,800 worth of Amazon credit. Well, that's where my new computer came from. And I went and got me the Torrent press from Lee, the one that has the 4 things on it. And I got a stand, because my place is so small, I got a stand, a Lee stand that it will sit right on it for, I can do it here in the living room. Oh yeah, and this, I don't know if you can see it here in the picture, but in this box here is the powder thing that loads the powder into the cartridges. How I've gone from little. I started out with a with one of those Lee, you know, with a hammer, making one at a time. I started with that. Then I went to the hand press. Now I've gone to the big boy. Next you know, I'll be getting the automatic.
How much was all the reloading stuff?
Just shy of $300.
That's not too bad.
No, the stand was was 124. I think the actual Torrent thing was 124. So basically, that's 250 right there. Then that thing was about 25. So yeah, around there. And I've already got the die cast, you know, the dies for them. So next thing I know, I'll be getting one of those automatic ones before long. You know, just press a button and it all does it for me. How the hell I'm gonna get it all in this small room of mine, I do not know, but I might have to move it to the bedroom. All right, that's that. Oh yeah, and I finally, where's my man Matt? I finally got out there and got to use the old Maverick 88. Everybody laughs about him, and Matt always swears by him. When I bought mine, months and months ago, I fired it. I put about 2 or 3 times is all I fired it. The other day when I went to the range, I took it out there and I just blasted away with that damn thing. My shoulder got sore. You know, I went through a box of birdshot. They have a target down there, a little range, with a big couple of big metal targets where you can check out the splatter or whatever they call it from different distances. But they only allow you to do it with birdshot. So I shot a whole box of birdshot there. That damn thing is a great little gun. It's not loose. It's not rattling. I think Mac's on a winner there. You all laugh at him, but he's on a winner. Hey, Michael. Good to see you. Yeah, I know what you mean there, Jared. It gets luckily, you know, I live on my own. There's only me and my 2 cats. So, you know, I spend more money than I'm only spending money on me. I'm selfish, really. I'm just spending it on me. You know, I talked to my sons about it. You know, they figured I still got I just turned 60. Oh, God, yeah, don't tell me about it. my body tells me I'm still only 20. So does my mind. But my body acts as an 80-year-old right now. I can barely move. But anyway, that's beside the point. But my kids figured I'll live to at least 80. So I said, well, I got to have something. They told me, whatever money you got, goddamn spend it. We don't want it. Enjoy yourself. I took them at their word. So that's what I did. Oh, yeah, okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, next thing, I wrote this down a couple of weeks ago when I was going to do the first week that went wrong on me. Well, it's because, I still only got 36 subscribers to my channel and stuff, which is okay. I don't mind. I only make the videos for me to give me something to do and stuff. But it's nice to, if I don't get any more, that's fine with me. But it is nice to have them, Anyway, let me.
There's something going on in the background. Some like radio.
Yeah, that's when that was me. I hit the button on my TV. Hit the mute button, came back on. So let me. My AC's running, but you're gonna have to suffer with that. I ain't turning it off.
No, you can't hear that at all.
Yeah. Is the other sound off now? Yeah. I think it was. I hit the mute button on my TV there. So. Okay. Now this show. Here, my show, I was thinking, I like it the way I do it. Invite people in, whoever wants to come in and talk. It's not a sort of like a set. I mean, a good one is what? Trying to think, Yankees on Thursday nights every other week. He has UG Webbs and Matt. It's only you three. It's like a set. A set people, and that's it.
He started doing that because he was getting sick of just the random conversations all the time. He wanted to just address like a couple of things. It works, I guess.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I mean that's fine. I don't want to do that. I mean, yes, if it gets where you can allow 10 people in here, I think. I mean, I don't want 10 different conversations going on. I want to keep it. That's why I write my list out and have my topics to keep it on topic. But I'll listen to everybody's view on it and stuff. So, but I kind of like it this way. And I was thinking, well, do I change it? But then, if I change it, I think my viewership will even go down because my heart won't be in it. If I'm trying to do something to make everybody else happy, I'm doing this to make me happy. Is the way I look at it. So that's my philosophy for today. So we're going with that. Okay, now. I also bought, if you guys remember, a couple of weeks ago, I bought the Rock Island 1911, and I've been shooting that quite a lot. So I'm debating whether to change my carry gun from the M&P 45, to the 1911.
Who makes that run 1911?
The what?
Who makes that 1911?
Rock Island.
Oh,
Rock Island Armory, is it?
Yeah, from the Philippines.
It's a nice gun. It really is. They tightened it. I mean, it's not loose at all. It's I was quite impressed with it, and the FFL, he was too. He said they've got over the last year or so, they've really tightened up their what's the word? Their what?
Their tolerances. It's been a lot longer than there's a podcast from probably 3 years ago now where somebody had on, I forget who it was, they had on as a guest the owner of Rock Island Arms, and it's from the Philippines, right? And it was originally, I think, during World War II or maybe even earlier, a place that made firearms and stuff for the Philippines. And then somewhere after World War II or during World War II, we started contracting them to make ammunition for us. So they were one of our big suppliers for 223 ammunition, and they'd always made firearms. And like you say, they had a reputation for being inexpensive, let's say. But then when the son took over the company, it was a family company, he took over the company, he didn't like that anymore. It was always something that bothered him. So he brought in a couple of sport shooters, I think they were, like competition shooters who are well respected, and had them come in and rebuild the 1911 line. So that was probably like 2000 and I don't know 10 or 11 area, and then ever since then, I guess they've been getting a better and better reputation all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah, and of course, as you say, by doing that, and the what's the word I'm looking for the guy who when they go down the line, the guy that picks them up and looks at them, make sure they're okay, and check them out. Yeah, that's good, you know. So I mean, it's a great gun. So I'm doing, and the only by changing to that one, it's about a ½ inch longer than my M&P. It's I would say about a ¼ inch thinner. You know, and I mean, as I said last night when we were talking to what to call it. I mean, to me, the 1911 is a sexy looking gun. It is, you know, and it looks sharp. It really does. And I mean, my M&P only carries 10. So this 1911 carries 8. So I'm losing 2 rounds.
Well, the 19 that seat is like if you were talking about cars, it would be like saying, well, I would need to drive to work and run errands every day. Should I take this stick shift like Corvette, or should I take this, you know, SUV, this rugged SUV? So neither one of them are necessarily perfect. They've got their characteristics, but the 1911 has so many to overcome if you actually ever need it. To me, I don't think it's. I mean, it's a great gun for having, but I don't think it's when you got a striker fire option.
Yeah.
Ammunition, but the striker fire, one trigger pull, basically the same all the time. That's under stress. That's what I'd rather revert to, having a tool that's consistent than have a. I mean, the 1911 is a consistent trigger pull, but it's a consistent hair trigger pull.
Yeah, and I mean, they do have a lot of parts in them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to complain about the reliability of a 1911. They obviously are good. So the Island ones have got a pretty decent reputation. I've never heard anything about them not being reliable.
Yeah, plus, I mean, really, I originally bought it just to have, because everybody's got to have at least one 1911 in their collection. That's what I really bought it for. You know, not to carry, but I just been playing with it and kind of like it. But, you know, but I tell you, I can sure hit a target with that M&P. I can sort of like a, you know, 7 to 10 7 yards or so, 7 to 10 yards. I can I pretty much point and shoot to hit the target, you know, in center mass. So if somebody's coming at me, I can point and shoot and hit the center of the chest, you know. As long as I'm hitting there, I'm happy. Now, if I take my time and aim it right, you know, looking at the sights, I can get it dead on. So I might stick with the M&P. See, I talked myself back out of it already. There you go. So, oh, here's another good one I want to talk about. Gun safes. Not so much per se the gun safes themselves, but do you keep your weapons loaded in your gun safe or not?
I do not.
You do not? I just wonder what people do. I mean, one of the thing of that when I was watching a James Yeager one the other day. He got himself a new Liberty safe and some big old huge thing. And he had it fooled up the other day, and he just said, "Yeah, every one of them's loaded." He said, "Like they're meant to be." I don't know, you know. I don't know if I would. Right now, none of mine are loaded. I have in a safe.
I know people that they keep all their guns loaded all the time.
Is there a reason for it?
I guess that same concept. They just think they should be, so they do. And I guess I think it's the same as not loading them. Like I usually don't load the ones unless I'm doing something with them. But that don't mean they're not laying around loaded. I mean, they do have guns laying around loaded, but I know I keep track of which ones they are.
Yeah.
I know people that will keep nothing loaded except the gun that's on them. And I think that keeping everything loaded is basically the same as keeping nothing loaded. It's just a way to make sure you always know what your guns are. You know, there's never a question. And I mean, I treat them always like they're loaded, even though, you know, but whatever. I think that's what the concept is, right? Just to, you know, it's loaded because it's a fucking gun. It is loaded.
Yeah, yeah. I must admit, I say none of mine are loaded. Yeah, there is one loaded. It's my little P64. That one is loaded. I got it sitting in the back of the safe, right in the very back. I figured, if for some reason I didn't have my gun on me and I could get to the safe, at least I had one that was there, like if I was under a home invasion type thing.
Sure. I mean, I'll have a loaded mag in a gun. I don't call that loaded. I mean, like chambered and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And out here on my desk, I always keep my NAA little 22 Magnum. I love this little thing. Great little shooter too. I shoved that down the other week. Took it out there. Put about 10 rounds through it.
Sure.
What was that?
I like shooting those as well.
Oh yeah. So I'm thinking of buying some more of these. I like these. Just kind of, my cleaning lady came over, and I had it out here, and she goes, "Oh, that's," she goes, "I need one of those," I said, "Well, we can get you one if you need one." Yeah. I said, "We got to remember it's only a 22." But then again, at short and close range, a 22 can still kill you if the bullet hits in the right spot. That's a 22 Magnum, so that's got a little bit of punch to it. Anyway, so now that's the thing I got to think about. Whether now you were saying you might have a magazine in the gun, but not chambered in your safe.
Yeah, almost always. If there's a mag in, I don't keep mags in them all the time. It's like an AR and AK that makes them too obnoxious in there, but they'll be in there.
Okay. Hey, Mr. Knives.
I only keep guns loaded.
And Moon.
Here's the thing. We all know what's going to happen. The rapist burglar is going to come in and catch us off guard. And then at gunpoint, they're going to take us over to the safe to try to get all the loot out of there. And that's when you want a loaded gun in there. We've all seen it.
I think that I have enough guns to where I can afford to have like some loaded for purposes and some totally unloaded for me to mess around with. And that's the way I like to keep it, because I don't like to rechamber and keep rechambering rounds just so I can play with guns when I get the urge to mess around with my guns. I keep a good like 5 of them totally unloaded. No loaded mag.
Yeah. That's the only problem with my. I said I carry the M&P 45, and I shoot it all the time when I'm down in the range. So, but I'm always, popping out the magazine because it has the my ammo in it, and so that I'm always ejecting that one out, and I'm always reloading it. So about every couple of months, I'll fire that magazine off and put fresh in there. I don't know if I have to do it that often, but I just feel every time I'm pulling it out and injecting the cartridge, I'll pop a couple out, then put it in the middle and put the other cartridges back in. Because that cartridge, I keep slamming as as you're chambering. It can't be doing that bullet any good. I don't know if I'm right on that or not, but that's what I'm doing. So, hey, did you guys hear me about my reloading? I've gone from the little Lee loader hand, the hand thing, to a hand press. Now I got the big turret.
Does it work better?
What was that?
Is it working better for you?
Well, it should be here tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, Monday.
Oh, okay.
I just ordered it. So, because I said going down the range now, the more I'm going, the more I'm shooting. So the more I got to load. It's becoming a nightmare. Doing it with a hand press, and it's sort of like it's becoming a chore. I got to get these done before I go shooting tomorrow. I don't want to be like that. I just want to be able to sit here in front of the television, pump a few out, or in front of the computer here. If I'm talking to you guys in a chat at night or something, popping a few out. Give me something to do. So I'm looking forward to that to get here. I really am. You know, I gotta order. I gotta order some more bullets. So I got plenty of brass. I got me one of those catchers like you got G-Webs and that catcher thing. But I noticed on mine, it picks up most anything except I got caught in the rain the other day, and when that dirt turned to mud, it wouldn't work. So I had to. Luckily, I had my little hand in the mud.
I've never experienced that situation.
But anyway, I noticed that when I'm rolling it on mine, the sort of like straighter you hold the handle, it picks them up a hell of a lot easier on mine anyway. So you almost come over them almost on top, it will pick them up every time. Get them at an awkward angle, it won't touch them. So, took me a couple days to figure it out, but it works.
It's like the way that those little forks or tines or whatever they'd be called, like separate. They separate with the arch or whatever, the peak of that arch.
Yeah, but I mean, hell, that thing's a lot better than bending over picking the damn things up. Yeah, and a lot of people leaving their brass up there. Yeah, so I picked theirs up too, 45s. I've been picking up some 9s too, because I do have that. That Italian 92 92F I bought. Police gun. That's 9mm. So I might start reloading those. I'm not shooting enough to me to think to do it. Now, shooting a box or two to me, it's if I take it out in the afternoon to go shooting with it, I'll shoot maybe 100 rounds through it at the most. Normally, I only shoot about 50. Then I'll change on to a different gun. You know, I just like to go through. I like to get. It's getting to the point where it takes me longer to load my truck up to go shooting than it does to get there. You know? I thought I'd take everything with me. I said, well, why? I said, you only live down the street now. You know?
Well, that's interesting. There's we could probably do a chat sometime. I'm gonna throw it in our schedule to talk about the stuff that when I'm shooting a lot or when I was shooting a lot, I just had like a box of crap that I left in my car, so I wouldn't have to be shoveling it back and forth. And then I could keep track of like targets and stands and just the stuff that you're going to drag back and forth into the house all the time anyway. And then we just have that second range bag with all that stuff, and then the ammo and whatnot would be, you know, all I'd have to drag back and forth.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. You know, because you know, I mean, I don't have that many guns, but I mean, I said I'm down to what, 8 or 9 pistols now. So I try to take them all with me. I try to shoot them all, but I normally get tired out before I can get that far. But I take them with me, bring them out there, bring them back, and of course I'm one of these gun freaks. It can't sit there overnight dirty. I got to clean it before I go to bed. So I clean every gun I fire every time. You know, I just don't like leaving them dirty. You know, the only gun I left dirty was when I shot the shotgun the other day. I cleaned it the following day. You know, and I felt like I was neglecting it and I was going to get caught for being a bad boy for not cleaning it straight away. I was thinking, who's watching me? Oh, yeah, that's kind of life I live. I wonder sometimes. From all their wells. Oh yeah. Now, me when I'm cleaning and reloading and stuff like that, I use my bare hands. You guys wear gloves when you're cleaning and reloading and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some friends that have had lead poisoning, and they're really adamant about like contamination and stuff when we go to the range with them. So they've made me more aware of it, and it's one of those things that accumulates. So you're never gonna, know it's happening. So gloves are cheap. I get those Harbor Freight ones that are thicker than a typical, surgical glove. They're
Yeah.
like changing parts in the cars and stuff, and that'll last you all day cleaning any number of guns. I've done it through building and everything. So you know, parts and tools and stuff really won't puncture them. You can take them off, put it back on. They're so thick, and
Okay.
that saves your hands from getting any lead in them. And then I'm also I also will like wash my beard off. I'll wipe it off with like a wet towel or something, because if I'm shooting. But even, I guess, you know, it's worth it thinking about it, because when you're running the brush through, you know, it's spraying lead all over the place, lead and solvent.
Yeah, I never thought about that, to be honest with you. Good point. I have to go buy me a box. Yeah, I got a Harbor Freight down the road. I'll go in there next week and get a box.
They usually have them on sale. You know how they have their sales all the time. And bring on your phone, if you don't already have one clipped from the paper or something, just go to your phone and type in Harbor Freight coupon, and it'll show you whatever the newest coupons are, and take the biggest. Sometimes they'll have like a $20 or a 20% or whatever's bigger, and or whatever works if you're only buying a $10 thing, I guess. But if you can do that, I bought a $29 weed eater that was on sale for $25, you know, with an extra coupon.
Okay.
Just take the number right off the coupon from the phone.
Yeah. Well, what's it, Ohio put on here? Solvents are aggressive and lead is the cumulative exposure. I suppose, yeah. I never really thought about it, really, you know. But you're right. Because what will happen is, yeah, I'm doing all that, and I'll have a wet rag there to wipe my hands every now and then, but it's not, all I'm doing is spreading it around my furniture and shit, really, when you think about it. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah. Now, hang on, Jared, what's that? I only allowed to have one loaded. I mean, is it what? Is that your thing there, or Massachusetts say that? I know you said you live in Mass. Yeah. I tell you, it's getting worse up here. Oh, I told you they passed that law, didn't I? On the domestic violence in Rhode Island here. Jesus Christ. That's pitiful. The guns can be confiscated. I mean, that's the start. It really is. So, on my trip to Indiana next week, Indiana's a pretty gun-friendly state, I believe. So I got relatives down there, and I'm gonna check it out because, as I said before, I'm disabled. Well, I'm on disability, so it's the same amount wherever I go. And if I can find somewhere cheaper to live, I'm getting more bang for my buck. That's the way I'm looking at it. Yeah. I mean, chat's not loading. What?
Works for me on gun channels.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Ohio just put something in there. Harbor Freight on the coupon on his
There you go.
yeah.
20%. So whatever that box of gloves is, you'll get 20% off of that, even when it's on sale. But wait for it's go on sale, because it'll be $2 cheaper or something on sale.
Yeah. All right.
9 to 7 or 7 to 5 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. I mean, I used to keep a box down in the shed where my motorcycle is. For working on my motorcycle, because I didn't like getting oil all over my hands.
Yeah.
Because I was a meat cutter, I used to get them from work. You know?
Oh, you probably already had nice ones then. I've always had just the ones from like food service and crap like that, where they were basically surgical gloves, you know, no stronger, and you would just keep putting them on. So whenever I got the van and started fucking around with the, you know, working on it and the cop car more, I was like, well, I'll just buy a box of these things. I'm kicking myself. I haven't had those things around forever because they're super nice. I get the middle ones, not the super thick ones, the middle thickness. They're blue, I think. Purple, maybe. The really thick ones, I think, are black, but they cost like more. I didn't get them.
Oh, wow. You have access to a 600-yard range in North Reading. I know where that is. If you ever want to come up and shoot, let me know. I will. 600 yards, huh?
Is that
Wow.
even Is that like diagonal across Rhode Island?
That's up in Massachusetts. This one, actually, the actual range I belong to, the rifle range is 300 yards, and believe it or not, that's the longest one in Rhode Island. You know, land's hard to find here.
I'm actually kind of surprised that they have them. Yeah, I mean that's a 300-yard range is big here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean this is a private club, and it's nice. If you're into shotguns, like skeet, clay, or five stand or whatever. I mean, they're big into it. I mean, they even do it at nighttime. They got big lights out there and everything else. So. And I said they just rebuilt 4 of the pistol ranges. Cleaned them all out, knocked down the what do you call them? The berms, whatever you call them, and built new ones. So it's really looking nice. So I'm glad I joined. Yeah. Well, okay, what else I got on my list? What else I got on my list here? I had 2 pages. Oh, where's the other thing? Where's my list? Where's my list? Oh yeah, I've already told a lot of people already, but I won't be on next week, even though I got the new computer now. As I said, I'll be in Indiana. I'll be driving this time next Saturday, so I won't be here. Hopefully, I might be able to do one because I'll be down there next Saturday. But hopefully, I might be able to do one from there. I'm not sure yet. If I can't, I'll put a post up like I did last time. But I can't do it. But this new computer, it's I'm using it today. It's got its own camera on it, its own microphone. I can, inbuilt microphone. So I might be able to. Might be rough, but I can put it together. So I'll give that a try. So, oh yeah, I mean this computer here is like being on Star Trek. I got a lighted keyboard, touch screen. Oh man, this is the bee's knees. Hell, it cost more than my gun did. I wonder if I can trade it back in for get a cheap one and buy a gun. So anyway, I'm going to Evansville, Indiana. That's where most of my relatives live. I say most of my relatives. I was talking to I talked to them on the phone and on here and Facebook and stuff, but I have not actually seen them face to face in 18 years. So I thought none of us are getting any younger. I thought I better go see them. Because I don't know. It's just I guess it's strange because I never really knew my father's side of the family that well. Because as you know, I told you my mother's English, and I lived 30 odd years in England. So that side of the family is more family to me than this side. If that makes sense to anybody. But I thought, well, they're family, so I better go see them. So that's what I'm doing. So anyway, that's it. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh yeah, I made a little note here. Is I'm not going to bring up any food topics in my chats if I can help it, because they seem to go all over the place. You mentioned food, anything from pizzas to donuts. Oh Jesus Christ, it goes on forever. Kind of funny though listening to it, but Oh yeah, any more? I'm going a little bit of politics here, because I still got about a few minutes left before my hour is up. With all this bullshit they're doing over the, the health care and everything else, even if they just pass, the House Bill 38, I mean, besides the 5 million NRA members, plus the 17 million concealed carry permit holders out there, that would make a big win for the Republicans to go on a recess. If they pass that damn thing, I can't see where the problem is. And the longer they leave it, the more opposition they're going to get towards it, which has already started. So it's kind of pissing me off. It really is. I mean, I like everybody else said, Donald Trump, I would say, wasn't my first choice, but he's what we got. And I only voted, and my vote was for Second Amendment bullshit. And, you know, and to me, none of that's being done yet. And I'm getting kind of frustrated and disappointed. Food topic, Wienerama in Cranston. Oh, yeah. What constitutes a good hot dog? Yeah. No, I'm not going to bring that up, what a good hot dog is, you know. So, I know it ain't Oscar Mayer, you know. So, anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, my view on the on politics. You know, even the Hearing Protection Act, I don't think that one, because that show you had on, the guy you had on a few weeks ago in that chat you had, G-Webs, where he really didn't see it happening in the first, 4 or 5 years. You know, but it feels like that's what's going to happen with our other one, any gun-related one. Or, you know, I got a nasty message months and months and months ago on one of Yankees' chats when he rants, and it was one of his rants when he's going on about what's his name from the NRA. Is it LePere? How you pronounce it? He's got a pure hatred for that guy. That anything, he just sees him and he goes blind. He doesn't listen to what the guy says. You know, it's pure hatred. And I told Yankee in the chat, I said, "You're full of shit." You know, because he's going on about the NRA, and I said, if it wasn't for them pumping all that money into those states, those swing states up there, I don't know if he would have pulled it off. You know, he might have, but I think they pumped in some millions up there, and that's when Yankee told me I was full of crap, and I told him to go shove it up his ass. And ever since then, I really haven't gone with him that well. But then that was months ago. All of a sudden, I get in, and somebody must have just watched it, and he sent me a nasty email telling me what an asshole I was. That you know, that that our president is just a sham anyway, and basically what he did, he lied to us all. You know, saying he's behind the Second Amendment, but he ain't going to do shit for us. Basically, that's what this guy was saying in this thing. In it, you know, it made me think: is that what he's doing to us? Did he just say all that to get our vote?
Well, he doesn't have any power to do anything except veto or allow a bill from the Congress to go through, and then he has, of course, the power to enforce it. So, and interpret, I guess. He has no intention of interpreting anything anywhere near as bad as Obama, at least as far as I can tell. And it's up to the House to send him stuff. I'm not aware of him getting anything pro-gun that he's vetoed and said, nope, that's not going through because of whatever. So I don't think Trump has the power that you're talking about. I think that he's a ally in a position that's necessary for the things that we want to petition to go through the House. He's in a position to be an ally and allow those things to go through. So until we get something like the Hearing Protection Act or one of the others up and through to his desk, I guess, and then he does an action, then I say I wouldn't worry about what Trump's doing. I don't see any of his actions being anti-gun. So until he's got something pro-gun on his desk that he decides to pass on or ignore or do something negative, then let's not worry about it. Let's get the stuff. We have to first get our legislatures, our representatives to push this shit. Right now, they're just going to sit there and let it sit if we don't urge them.
I know. Yeah, it's not Trump. You're right. It's the House and the Senate. I mean, the House, they They've wasted this whole since Trump got January 20th. They've wasted all this time. Now I know the Democrats ain't helped it by doing all this. It's the Russians crap, which makes all these committees say, when they're sitting all these committees, they can't be doing anything else. You know what I'm saying? But I did look, the last I looked, HR 38 has 200 co-sponsors now. What's it need, 217?
Which one is this?
That's the national,
Reciprocity.
yeah. Yeah, it's got 200 co-sponsors.
That is one I haven't heard about in a while.
Yeah, but I keep trying. Every now I get emails on it. Every time co-sponsors gets added, I got one the other day, and it's up to 200 now. So actually, there was about. I went through the list, but it's hard reading. But there was about 5 Democrats that co-sponsored it. So that will more likely go through if they brought it up. I'm just thinking if they brought it up and done it, they could go take their vacation on a win. People will be happy. Especially the gun community, which is a big portion of the people out here. But yeah, what in the hell do I know?
Wasn't there supposed to be some kind of movement on the Hearing Protection Act last week?
I don't know. Was there G-Webs?
Not the Hearing Protection Act. The SAFE Act was on the short list or something. Whenever that guy did the stuff at the baseball field, and they put it on hold. And then I think since that's a non-scheduled, happenstance, I don't know if there's necessarily like a time frame that we can depend on for results from that or whatever. So I think that's what we were waiting on, is what they're gonna do and when they're gonna do, the stuff that they should have been doing that particular day.
Yeah. Which one I was
if we just sit around and do nothing, then they're gonna sit around and do whatever they want, right? So at some point decide we're not in politics, but we are affected by it. We need to devote, either a portion of our day or a portion of our week to holding the foot to the fire.
Yeah.
And then
I sent an email to what's his name, the Congressman Hudson. Back, I said, I know I'm not in your state, but I said, what in the hell? I said, it's been sitting there since January the 4th. When are you going to do something with it?
did he respond to you?
Yeah. I've written letters to Vice President as well.
Did you get a response to that?
No, I ain't got no responses yet.
Oh.
I write them to my state representatives, but that's the only one responds to me. It's a standard pre-typed response.
Boilerplate, yeah.
He's anti-gun. It's all 3 of them from this. We got 2 representatives and a senator. They're all Democrat. They're all anti-gun. And the one that actually covers my district is in a wheelchair because he got shot when he was 15 years old. He was at a police firing range, and somehow he got shot and he got paralyzed.
And that's guns' fault. And now you, as a gun owner, need to.
Yeah, he starts it off. I believe in the Second Amendment, but as soon as you say "but," the rest of it's bullshit. I don't even listen. We got to have. What's the word? What's the term they use? Sensible.
Reasonable gun restrictions.
Yeah. But they never tell you what reasonable gun restrictions are. They said you got to have
universal background checks and assault weapons bans.
I mean, like that guy yesterday, the doctor who went to the New York hospital, and I was listening to the news and they said, what's he coming to this country? Now we're going to have metal detectors on our hospital doors, libraries. And I tweeted them. It was one of these shows you could live tweet them and didn't read mine, I guess. I said, no, you don't need metal detectors. Get rid of the fucking gun-free zones. And if somebody with a gun was in there, he might have been able to shoot him before he wounded the other 3. But maybe I'm thinking wrong.
There's a bill to do that in the legislature. Just drafted one in Pennsylvania to allow teachers to carry.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody in the Philadelphia area is anti-gun.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
not everybody, but
yeah,
big portion of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they are here too in
Philadelphia.
It just. I said, what are you going to do when somebody comes charging in? I mean, my friend, I go around his house all the time. He's the only guy I do it for. Is I'll take my gun and lock it in my safe in my truck when I go into his house, because I've known him for 20 years, and he said, please don't bring it in here, so I don't. But I'm saying to him, we're sitting here right now. I said, basically what I'm doing. I said, he gets real mad at me. So what I'm doing is, I said, I'm putting my life in your hands right now. I said, if somebody comes busting through that door, what are you going to do? Call 911? He goes, yeah. Okay. I said, in Westerly here, their timing, they got it down to 7 minutes. I said, what are we doing for 7 minutes? Tell the guy to hold on and wait? But when it gets to that point, he just blinks out. I don't believe in guns. I said, what you can do is let him shoot them. Well, if that's what's meant to be, that's what's meant to be. I said, what happens if your grandkids were over here? What are you going to do then? Well, it ain't going to happen in this sleepy town. Shit. They just stopped the guy up the road from us about 10 miles, pulled him over for a stop, and he was from North Carolina. He had, 19 guns in the back of his truck, from ARs, AKs, all kinds of semi firearms and shit, all loaded, ready to go to sell to the crooks up in Providence, the ones who aren't allowed to have them. I said, that's only 10 miles down the road. So it's getting closer all the time. You just don't realize it. And just because it didn't happen to you doesn't mean it's not happening somewhere. This town, when I moved in this town 10 years ago, it's sleepy old town. But the crime is creeping in. Because like most towns, you have your, I hate the sound profiling, but this place out here, that's sort of like your low rent district, for lack of a better word. There's a lot of crime out there, a lot of unemployment and stuff. But they're moving into town. Now they're creeping into the outskirts of town. So it's coming this way. I said, so, but then again, see, when you guys here, I'm preaching to the choir. Does anybody outside of us ever listen to us? What I want to know.
Well, we don't expect to get up with a position that they don't agree with, and they're not even receptive to, because they're not, inquiring about it or something. We can't expect them to hear it somehow and then change their mind. So you're right. They're not going to just hear us say it that one last time and then change happens. But I do think that you post a video like this and you said you've got however many subscribers, and some of those people are listening not because they expect to be thrilled or given some insight or something. They're participating in the conversation, and we're having the conversation here. And if that inspires them to have a conversation in real life somewhere, then that's 2 or 3 people that have been affected. So
yeah, you got a point.
I don't think that this is the kind of stuff that like Oprah Winfrey can get out there and say, this is how it is. I mean, freaking Obama said, this is how it is. And people just don't agree 100%. They don't agree, even it's a black and white issue. So, so I think it's the nibbles and it's the regular people putting ourselves out there that are going to, be the massive grassroots opposition to the Bloombergs, who have this weird position that, we all feel isn't backed up by any kind of real facts. And it's all based on the theory that if you remove something from society, then everyone will forget about it and everyone will go along doing less violent things to each other with less violent implements. And that's, you know, that's their whole thing. So, you know, if that's their fairyland, is their position, and ours is constantly out there, and we're constant. And here's the other thing: when you do something like this, we have these conversations. I consistently enjoy them. I've been doing these conversations like this for 5 or 6 years, and it's the same topics, and none of us have ever hit that goal. There is no finish line where ding, 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 now all the liberals figured it out and they just all could become pro-gun. It's the long game, right? So every time we have a conversation like this, or 6 months later we have a conversation on the same subject, somebody will come to the table with a little bit different spin, and that's how evolution and innovation happens. And we figure out ways. Every Second Matters is an attempt at that tomorrow, right? To wear that logo around to start conversations, and it works. We had people who their mind, you know, Smaggy talking to people at work and stuff, others who've, you know, just on a simple conversation, at least made people think about it. And so next time Bloomberg pays, you know, $30 million or whatever, $300,000, $30,000 to a marketing firm to put out a bullshit message that universal background checks is good to go, all gun owners even back it, you know, that person at least has to question, like, wait a minute, I wonder what Rick thinks about that. And maybe they'll come talk to you about it. Do you think, is this right? And then you have an opportunity to say, hell no, on a real position where that person might even be a fucking vote on something. So anyway, I think that you're right. They're not gonna just say, oh yeah, you're right, guns are good. But I think that we're doing the good fight, and it's not a win tomorrow. We don't get better shooters by just buying some ammo and a gun. We go out and practice it, right? So we don't win conversations the first time we have one. We practice them. So I think it's target practice we're doing here. We're figuring out, you know.
Yeah. But talk about that. My friend who does that, I saw his son the other day in Walmart. I was talking to him, and I said, yeah, I joined it. He goes, you did? I said, yeah, well, I said, let me know. I said, I'll take you down there. He said, I'll take you up on it. So, I mean, that might be a new one. You know what I'm saying? You know, his father might be pissed at him, but that's another person. You know, try to get into the shooting stuff.
Yeah. And then, you know, then it's Thanksgiving and grandma's over and the uncles and aunts and cousins, and then somebody says something about it and mom yells at dad. But now it's a conversation at a Thanksgiving table because of something, and then you know, maybe the kid says something that he heard in a chat, you know, just regurgitates it, and that makes everyone question it. And now maybe 3 or 4 voters there thinking about it, and now they don't just regurgitate their boilerplate to their kids. And now there's maybe 6 or 8 kids that aren't going to get beat down. That just listen to Bloomberg. He knows what he's talking about. He's a smart man. You know, now they're not going to encourage it. I mean, it's the butterfly effect, right? Little stuff adds up and influences people, and then Bloomberg and his bullshit ass paid for message doesn't have as much reach. It doesn't get as much grab.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, gentlemen, my hour is up. Well, I could go longer, but I do have to go out this evening. I was invited somewhere for dinner, so I plan on taking them up on it. You know, when I can eat somebody else's cooking, I'm going to do it.
Free cooking.
You know? No, somebody just throwing some stuff on the, you know, some burgers on the grill. That's better than me throwing burgers on the grill. Always tastes better at somebody else's house for some reason. I don't know. So anyway, gentlemen, thank you for showing up, joining the chat, listening to the chat, putting your input. I really appreciate it. You know, and said I won't be here next week, but hopefully I'll do one the following week from Indiana.
Right on. Have a good trip.
All right. I'll see you later. I'll probably be on late tonight. So, but I said I don't go to next Saturday, so you see me during the week anyway.
Well, I hear you. Just in general, though, have a good trip when you go.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a good one.